What's up, everybody? Kobe with Amore IT Solutions. Today, want to talk about security cameras and the different weatherproofing that each manufacturer has. They are not all created equal. Um, I sometimes get questions on social media and some from our clients on what security cameras are better uh, than others. We do not like to install wireless security cameras. We primarily install wired cameras with Ethernet cable. We do not do the, uh, what are they called? Losing my track of thought. Um, BNI cables, I think they're called. I can't remember. Anyways, we do network cables and IP cameras. So the ones that we use primarily are the UniView cameras for any scale, business, small, medium, or large. For some small businesses, we will do Unify cameras, and we will also use those for doing residential installs. But a lot of the cameras that I'm always asked about are like Ring cameras, the I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Is it Eufy, EUFY, and the Arlo cameras. So um basically to get back with the on the weatherproofing. So how the standard goes with weatherproofing is, as you can see on my screen here, IP ingest protection. The first number after the IP deals with solids, so dust, dirt, basically how well the camera is going to um, do with a dusty environment or an environment that has dirt that gets onto the camera or tries to get inside the camera. Um, the second number is deals with liquids, so mostly obviously with water, outdoor cameras, being out in the rain, being like here in Michigan. Obviously, we have colder temperatures in the winter, so we get a lot of snow here. So the higher the number, the better the protection and rating. So just keep that in mind when we're talking about these other cameras. So let's start with the Arlo cameras. Um, with these cameras, a lot of them are really primarily, I think they're wireless cameras. They do have batteries in them, so that's one of the things that attracts a lot of people to them. The fact that they are a lot easier to deal with if you already have your house built. Um, Being able to use these wirelessly and having a battery inside them, um, obviously, as I guess some benefits for some people. For us, we don't like them. Uh, I don't like the fact that the batteries, I don't know, they last maybe 6, 7, 8 months before you have to charge them again. I've heard some people say, but when you have them in the wintertime, like here in Michigan, we get again cold temperatures. Those batteries aren't going to last as long. I don't know. You might get a few months out of them, and then you're out there changing the battery. So imagine being out in a snowstorm and your camera's batteries die, and you've got to go out there and replace the batteries to them. Um, Also, the mounting for them. A lot of them have like these magnet mounts, um, and they're just not very secure as far as any person could come up and just grab one of these off of these magnet mounts and steal the camera. And oftentimes the footage can be recorded onto the device. It's not even recorded onto like a network video recorder. So um let's see what the Arlo's here. They got a dual charging station for the batteries to recharge them. And looks like you can use a phone app with them. Yeah, like this is what I'm talking about. Wire free outdoor siren. Okay, that's not the mount. I'm not seeing the mounts, but anyways, so when you go on their site, you look for the IP rating, the weather rating, and it may be somewhere on here, but I had a hard time finding it, so I went kind of search for Arlo camera IP ratings, and they're saying that most of their cameras are an IP65 rating. So let's go back to the website that explains that. Um, so 65. So the first digit is a 6. So that means it's dust tight, no ingress of dust, complete protection against contact, dust tight, and vacuum must be applied. Test duration for up to 8 hours based on airflow. I'm not quite sure what they mean by that, but um, the second digit is a 5, so that deals with liquids. So when we looked at 5 water jets, basically it says water projected by a nozzle 6.3 millimeters against enclosure from any direction shall have no harm effect. So basically, if you spray water on it with anything from a 6.3 millimeter or less nozzle, the camera should be okay. The test duration is 1 minute per square meter for at least 3 minutes. Water volume 12.5 liters per minute. Pressure 30 kPa or 4.4 psi at a distance of 3 meters or 9.8 feet. So the ratings really aren't that great, guys. They're really not. You really want to get an IP rating more of like a 6, 7. Um, Once you get up to, let's see, so 6, again, dust tight. You go to the liquid, the second number, and let's see what 7 says. This deals with immersion up to 1 meter. So you can actually dunk these things into water about 3.3 feet, 3 inches in depth. Ingress of water in harmful quantities shall not be possible when the enclosure is immersed in water under defined conditions and pressure and time up to 1 meter, 3 feet, 3 inches. Test duration 30 minutes. Tested with the lowest point of the enclosure, 39 inches. So basically, they're saying that you can put a camera with a IP67 rating and submerge it into 3 feet, 3 feet, 3 inches of water for 30 minutes and it won't harm the camera. So when we look at, like, again, the ratings for the Arlo, I feel like any camera that's lower than an or at a IP65 or lower is just like I wouldn't want to have that camera outside where we are here in Michigan. Or if you were in a state that a lot of like hurricanes or you're getting a lot of storms, a lot of rain, wind. I definitely wouldn't want to use these Arlo cameras. They're just not good for more extreme conditions outside. Um, the EFU, if I'm correctly pronouncing that again, these cameras are kind of the same. I think they do have some wired cameras, but I think some of them are wireless as well. Let's look at their outdoor. Oh, does it say whether they're wired or wireless? Looks like they're wireless. So you can see how they're connecting it here. I think that's a magnet that's connecting it onto there. So it doesn't look like there's any Ethernet cable there. So again, how easy would it be to just pull this camera off of the mount? Um, but when you look at the IP ratings, this is an IP67. So this is a lot better. That gets into that submersion like we talked about. You should be able to take this and submerge it into about 3 foot of water. Um, so I would say that probably this company is a little bit better than the Arlo cameras. If I had to choose, I would choose these over them just for the weather rating. Having them outside, like I said, winter weather, um, rain, wind, they're just gonna perform better. Um, let's look at the Ring cameras. Um, I think, as you could tell, I don't install a lot of these cameras, so some of them I'm not really sure how they're installed but I think Ring cameras for the most part are wireless as well. Same type of thing. I think they do have magnet mounts. Some of them have floodlights, so you have to hook up electrical to them. Um, I didn't really find anything as far as IP ratings on here. When I looked online for them, IP rating IP55. So worse than the Arlo cameras. It says Spotlight camera battery has a IP55 rating. Stick up camera battery also has the same IP55 rating. The floodlight camera, that one's wired. The Pro version has a IP65 rating. And the Spotlight Cam Pro wired also has a IP65 rating. So, I mean, IP65 being the best rating or the highest rating of their cameras, still to me is not that great, especially for this area. I would not want to have them here in extreme weather, extreme cold and whatnot. They're just not going to last as long. Maybe you'll get like a couple of good years out of them, maybe 2, 3 years, but eventually they're going to start getting moisture inside, dust inside, and you're going to start having problems with them. Um, Again, what we install are UniView and Unify cameras. Um, Much better weather rating on these cameras. Um, the Univiews, I think, are all like IP67, I believe. Um, Looks like they do have some IP66. Probably they're cheaper, some of the cheaper cameras. Um, but most of them, I believe, are the IP67. So much higher rating. Again, going back to the scale, six being the best for solid particles for the first number. The second number again is for liquids. And what did I say? Was it seven? So again, immersion, uh, 3.3 feet, 3 inches of water. So obviously these are much better. Um, Wrong one here. Much better as far as weather rating. I would trust these cameras a heck of a lot more, and we install a lot of these cameras. And I tell you, we've been installing these since I think 2019, and I don't know if we've had one of these cameras break yet. So, kind of, knock on wood, but yeah, they've been really high quality cameras. No issues with them. Um, the Unify cameras, we've installed a bunch of those as well, especially for residential. I think maybe I've had one of the outdoor cameras go bad, um, which is still really good. Um, yeah, I really like the Unify system because um, how their cameras integrate with just the Unify system. It's kind of a almost like a single pane of glass. Their network equipment, their routers, their switches, their wireless access points, and their security cameras. Um, it just all seamlessly kind of works together. And for home users, they tend to like it a lot more than the UniView camera system that we set up. Um, it's the UniView camera system. There's quite a few other manufacturers out there that use. I would say it's not completely the same software, but I believe the software is somewhat used by many different brands, and then what they do is they just uh, put their logos on them, put their kind of branding on them, but when you look at them, they look very similar to a lot of other brands. Um, but Unify is completely different. It doesn't. I don't know of another camera manufacturer that software wise that looks like theirs. Um, and they just keep getting better and better with each version of their software system that they come out with. And we have um, here we have Uniview cameras that we've had for probably, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years. And I am thinking about switching over to the unified camera system. I mean, they're just that good. They're getting really good. So I like the functionality of them a little bit better, but uh, probably won't do that until maybe later this summer or possibly even next year. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to go over with the cameras as far as weather ratings and stuff. Again, if I were to put these to least weatherproof to most weatherproofed, I would say the Arlos are the worst. Um, and then I would say the Ifu cameras are the next best. Um, Actually, I would say maybe the Ring cameras. Let me look again. I think the Ring cameras what the worst. It's between the Ring camera. Yeah, the Rings are the worst, and then I would say the Arlos, and then these Efu cameras or whatever they're called. Um, yeah, and then between UniView and Unify cameras, I would say probably Unify cameras are a little bit less weather resistant than the UniView cameras, but they're real close. I have had I installed my first cameras were Unify cameras, and I still have a G3 camera that's probably been up, I don't know, 7 years. I mean, winter, cold weather, storms, rain, wind. Um, the camera's still running great. I still, I haven't had any issues with it. So, um, yeah, good camera system. Like I said, Unify or the Uniview camera system. If you were to choose, you can't go wrong with either one of them. But these wireless cameras, again, I would stay away from them. I mean, um, they have their uses, I guess. A lot of people, like I said, like them because they're easy to set up, but they don't last as long. Um, and the batteries on them to me are just, it's like a ridiculous product. I never would want to have a security camera out there that has batteries that I have to replace a couple times a year, 2, 3 times a year. It just seems ridiculous. I want to have wired cameras that run off of power, off of Ethernet or PoE, power over Ethernet. So the network cable that you plug into it actually powers the cameras, and you never have to worry about these things, running out of battery life. So, anyways, enough ranting about that. If you guys have any questions, you can contact us at 231 944 0799 or our website at amoreitsolutions.com, or you can email us at info@amoreitsolutions.com. We'll see you on the next video.